Trenton 365 with Jacques Howard. Profiling the businesses, organizations, and people that make Trenton better.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trenton 365 show. I'm your host for tonight, Vaunt Leak. You can send us an email at trenton365show@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Trenton 365 Show, on our Instagram page at Trenton_365, and our Twitter page at Trenton 365. You are listening over WIMG AM 1300, New Jersey's oldest radio station, and watching us on WPHY Channel 25, covering Mercer County, New Jersey, through the Verizon network. My first guest tonight is he's a veteran. He is the former president of the Trenton Council of Civic Associations and is participating this weekend in the Capital City Chess Collaborative that is being held. So without further ado, I introduce Cameron Hunt. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. I want to get into. First, I want to say I've heard and read a lot of amazing things about you, and you're one of those people that are just constantly doing just amazing things to not just personally in your circle, but to better your community and the city that you live in. And you are, just like I define Jacques, who's here every week, you are a community leader. You're a person that is just always trying to better the world around you. And you're always trying to do things to make this city better as a whole. So for that, I want to say thank you, because I live in this city as well. And I want you to just share a little bit about your background personally, and why you do the things you do for the city.
Okay, let's start from a quick background check. I got to the city of Trenton in the good year of 1970-71, in that realm. Mm-hmm. I was an international union representative for a union called AFSCME, AFSCME. We were organizing state workers at the time, and that was my introduction to the city of Trenton. Right. That was my introduction to the community of Trenton. And to make a long story short, I ultimately fell in love with the city and stayed after the election was over, for which we won. From there, I got involved with my own community by organizing my civic association, and from there I moved on to working with the Trenton Council Civic Association. Ultimately, I was voted in as president 3 times, and so there's the background. Okay.
I want to talk about the Trenton Council of Civic Associations. You got voted in as president 3 times. What was this association, and then your role as president?
As president, I was the leader of several civic association presidents. Mm-hmm. TCCA is made up of all sitting presidents or representatives from various civic associations throughout the city.
Right.
When I left, we had 39 civic associations on the books. Mm-hmm. My goal at the time was to try to get to the number 50. Now, why? When I did my research about the organization, TCCA, when they hit 50 civic associations, they had a lot of influence in the city.
Okay.
And when I say influence on behalf of the residents. People have no idea, if they just started putting their efforts into TCCA, there are a lot more we could do on behalf of residents of the city of Trenton. Hook that up with the fact that we got a mayor who seems to be listening, who wants to be available, and seems to be out in the community a lot. There's a winning story. So that's it about TCCA.
So with the everybody, once you got everybody, you got the 50 associations, and then with everybody, with the mayor, all that included, that made, with all that combined, that would make everybody working together, would make everybody work together for the city to make it do
better.
Yeah,
make it a better location.
Right.
And we didn't hit 50, we hit 39.
Okay, you have 39. Got you. Throughout all your time doing involved in all this, you're a veteran. You had experience in the military. Could you touch a little about that?
I did 2 branches of the military.
Right.
My first branch was I did 4 years in the United States Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. I got an honorable discharge. Didn't get enough. Went back and joined the Army and volunteered for Special Forces. And from that point on till 28 years later, I was in the military and being involved.
What exactly led you to join and go into work in the military?
My mother.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
My mother put me in the military. I grew up in New York City, Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, there were gangs blooming in Bedford-Stuyvesant. No guns, just man-to-man, hand-to-hand combat kind of in situations, fortunately. My mother was given the word that I got drafted into at that time it was called the Chaplains, one of the very powerful groups in Bedford-Stuyvesant. And when she heard that, she really didn't say too much to me. Next thing I know, this is a story I got later, that she called the Marine Corps recruiter because everybody thought the Marines were so much.
Right.
Talked to him for about 2-3 weeks. Next thing I know, she was telling me we're going for a ride. We went to and met the Marine Corps recruiter she was talking to. And next thing I know, she signed on the dotted line. I left for Parris Island, South Carolina, like within a week after that.
Right. So did your experience in the years that you spent in the military, did the experiences there and everything that you went through did that play a part in the role that you play in joining the Trenton Council of Civic Associations and being so civically engaged in everything that you do?
Yeah, I guess you could say that because, everything that SF does is about development of community or redevelopment of community depending on what the scenario is. In other words, if it's a hostile scenario, a development of making that community stronger and helping that community sustain.
Are there members, and whether personally you know them or just members of any branch that you feel would be like that could make it the same impact that you did, come out of whatever branch they're doing, come out of their workforce and go into doing just acts like this? Like,
you got to understand something, young brother. Mine was a personal choice.
Right.
So I cannot say, that I would like to think that
everybody,
that everybody came back home and started working on behalf of their community.
Mm-hmm.
We both know that possibly will not happen for various reasons.
Correct.
Okay. I'd like to take this time to talk a little bit, if we can, about this Saturday coming up and the chess collaboratives event that will be taking place at Mercer County College.
Right. You're hosting an event. You just kind of said it, the Capital City Chess Collaborative, which is this Saturday, October 27th, at the James Kearney campus in downtown Trenton. The registration starts at 8:30 and the event starts at 9. I want you to touch and just any more specific details that I missed about that.
Okay. Registration time, it's a requirement by the college that we get certain information on the participants. So you'll have to fill out a short registration form, pay your $35 registration fee, and you will be escorted to a seating area. We have a limited seating capacity of 80 players. So if anybody plans to come and play, you got to get there before 9 o'clock or 8:30. This is open to senior citizen chess players. Anybody over 35 and not rated. I'll speak on that in a minute. Over 35 and not rated are eligible to be at our tournament. Now, when I say not rated, we are leading towards rated tournaments. And with rated tournaments, we will be having individuals who will be coming from outside of the city into play. All right, and which is very prestigious. It also means that we're upgrading the chess event or the chess atmosphere in the city of Trenton, and that's what I'll go. Yeah, the platform. Yeah, and that's what we're pushing to do, to upgrade the platform of chess in the city of Trenton.
Which is amazing. I'm a Trenton High student myself, and before the show we were talking, and there used to be a Trenton High chess club, and because Trenton High is split right now and there's a lot going on, it's existent in some schools, but it's not. And you said that you were working to not install, but to put that back to work that back into the school districts. Why do you feel that that's important?
I think the game of chess for our young people is extremely important. There are so many benefits that will help a young male or female. And just so the females out there who is listening to your show, There is a team in Philadelphia of all female students, high school students. They just won a major championship, and I'm just grasping at the bit because I would like to see some of the female students in Trenton district get involved with chess, because I really would like to bring them girls into Trenton to challenge.
Right. Now, personally, I've had cousins that I don't even know if they've seriously played chess. They've like dabbled in chess. I want to know like what is the fascination with chess? Like why? Like I watch people play and I'm fascinated by how they're like so invested in it. And it's not like just a regular like what is like what's why? I'm not gonna say why is it so important. Why is it such a heavily, can't think of a better term, but why is it such a big game?
Well, let's look at it this way. Let's look at it from the standpoint of just living life.
Right.
Chess is a representation of life, but in a war game scenario. Now, take apart the bad part about dying and all that. Put that out, because we're not talking from that perspective. We're talking from the perspective of the 10 benefits that you get from playing the game of chess, and one of them is just forcing you to concentrate more.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one is, just let me look at my book. It raises your IQ. It helps prevent Alzheimer's. It exercises both sides of the brain. Improves your memory. I mean, these are all plus attributes for an individual who takes up the game of chess.
So if we start re-implementing is the word, re-implementing that in younger folks now, it'll help them not just like personally, but like when they grow up, and then like it'll help their mental stability or just the way of life.
Couldn't say it any better.
Right.
Couldn't say it any better.
Okay.
Now, just to let you know, we have been in touch with the Principal Hope of the high school. Presently, we have 8 schools under our banner.
Right.
And 3 of them are the high schools. Trenton High West, 9th Grade Academy. Trenton High West, 9th Grade Academy, and the middle schools. But my point is, she is very aware of what our efforts with the chess program is, and I will be seeing her again to lay out a plan. So when the school opens and everybody's under one roof, and you was the one to inform me that we have 5 campuses under that one roof.
Right.
Well, what our plan is to have 5 different representation chess teams to compete. So we're working on that issue also.
And then eventually you're hoping to take the teams and then expand from there, so that way it goes outside of just the district, and then it goes beyond to who knows how far it could go.
Bingo.
That's a game plan. We're gonna make that happen, Ms. Grant. I want to talk to you about the event specifically. How often is this event? Do you guys have it every?
We're planning to have it like once a year at a minimum.
Okay.
Now this year, what we're doing, we were able to have some very nice looking professional plaques created for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Right.
The money value is $500 for 1st place, $250 for 2nd place, $125 for 3rd place, and $100 for 4th place. Plus, for those winners that would like to join the United States Chess Federation, we will be offering them an application form so they can fill it out. We will pay their first year's dues as a winner.
That's amazing.
So they can take this experience a step further.
Onto their own.
Yes.
That's amazing. So with that, personally, because now you're really catching my interest. You said this event's for people ages 35 and up. Are you gonna expand that eventually to young professional players? Okay,
here's with the younger players. We've kind of kept it in, because we broke down into two divisions. OG division, older person division, older gal and guy division, and a scholastic division.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to do with the young folks in the scholastic division, and we're working that issue as we speak.
All right. We are just about up on a break. Before we go, I wanna reiterate. I wanna say If you are interested in this event for ages 35 and up, it is this upcoming Saturday, October 27th, 2018. It will be at the Mercer County Community College, James Kearney campus, in downtown Trenton here. Registration starts at, correct me if I'm wrong again, 8:30, and then the event starts at 9. The slots are going to fill very quickly, so if you are really serious and want to do this, get there as soon as possible. Is there any way that people can contact you or anybody else that are in charge of this event?
I could be reached at 609-733-2046.
Okay. And your name is Cameron. This is Cameron Hunt. He is the
founder and CEO of Capital City Chess Collaborative.
Okay. We are up on a quick break. We will be right back with more of the Trenton 365 show right after this.
If you have dreamed of getting your college degree, there has never been a better time to be a New Jersey resident. Through the state's new Community College Opportunity Grant Program, Mercer County Community College is offering free tuition to county residents who qualify. Tuition awards will be applied after all other financial aid, and your household income may not exceed $45,000. The college is hosting multiple information sessions about this life-changing opportunity. Learn more by visiting mccc.edu/free. That's mccc.edu/free.
The Vikings have arrived at the Franklin Institute. Explore hundreds of archaeological discoveries and rare treasures, plus dramatic ship reconstructions and interactive experiences designed to go beyond the legend and reveal who these explorers were and why Vikings will forever capture the imaginations of all. Vikings, Beyond the Legend, now open through March 3rd at the Franklin Institute. Order your tickets today at fi.edu.
And welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. I'm sitting here with Cameron Hunt, who is the co-founder of the Capital City Chess Collaborative, which will be taking place this Saturday, October 27th at Mercer County Community College, downtown Trenton. During the break, we were talking about, or earlier in the show also, we were talking about Cameron's involvement with the community and the city, how he is a civically engaged human being and very, very just it shows so much leadership skills and just so much love and passion for a city. I want to talk to you about the youth corps that you are a part of, the role that you play, the Trenton Youth Corps, which I don't want to get into. I want you to be able to explain.
Okay. Trenton Youth Corps is a program that is available for those students who need a second chance in school.
Mm-hmm.
It's located at the end of Stuyvesant Avenue. It is a program that helps young adults and high school kids get their GED. It also helps them to get jobs. I am not directly with them any longer, like on staff.
Mm-hmm.
What I do now is handle teaching their core groups the game of chess. Because staff out there who are personal friends of mine felt that chess would be an added plus for all the other training that the kids get at Youth Corps. Youth Corps is a last chance for young adults, and I would recommend it to any young adult who's having a kind of a hard time in school. Go out, speak to Mr. Johnson or Ashley, and they can direct you into a program that will help you with your future.
How many students, I guess students was the term,
yep,
are in the youth corps that you reach out to?
Each corps has a maximum of 15 and a minimum of 10 students.
Okay, so and with each of the corps, you reach out to everybody, you teach them the game of chess, and then you try to get them involved in.
Now here's the deal. That's the dream, because believe it or not, some of the students don't want to be bothered.
Right.
They don't want to be bothered with chess, so you can't force them. You know, because you don't learn when you're forced.
Mm-hmm.
So those who want to accept the learning, those who want to accept the teaching of chess, we open arms and we sit down with them and show them the best we can. We bring in other players who are ranked higher than me to teach them other aspects of the game. But yeah, for those who want to, we're there available for them.
How did you personally get into chess? How did you like become so invested in it? Like when did it start? And
you know, when I tell young people try the service, you have no idea the doors that open for you in the service. I mean, all sorts of doors.
No, but that's not
open.
even just chess. It's like with anything. You could be like, it's just.
That's where I learned how to play chess. I was in the barracks. I was stationed down at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I'll never forget it. One of my NCOs, Sergeant Smith, he was playing the game. And I sat down. I said, "Whoa, what's this?" And the rest was history. Taught me how to play the game. They beat up on me a lot of times, but I learned the game. You know, I'm a fairly decent chess player.
So you've competed? Have you competed in like
Nothing official. Nothing official. See, that's what the good thing is about the chess world. You can be on. You could like. I know there's a group of brothers that play in the park on the weekends.
Right.
I mean, so that you can have those kind of scenario. I'll tell you this. In New York City, in the park, one of their major parks, every Sunday, there's at least 4, 5, 10 tables of individuals playing the game of chess. Some play for money, some play for bragging rights. But I mean, it's a thing that you don't have to be a professional to play the game.
You just do it, yeah.
You can just do it, and you'd be surprised how many of those who just do it are very good chess players.
And then some people, you find out they're good chess players, and then they don't carry it out. They just like it's just like a hidden talent, you know? Like
Yep,
you just
exactly.
So your involvement with just not like accidentally like finding a love for it, that is what inspired you to to found the Capital City Chess Collaborative and start this whole movement.
Excellent, young brother. Yes, absolutely right.
I find it amazing that like you find a love for something, because I guess coming from somebody that like is like about to go on with their life and figure out like whatever they want to do, and finding loves for little things here and there, like doing this, and then you just somehow grow up and start like a whole like a campaign or a group for it. I think that's amazing that you open gateways for people to do the type of thing.
I've always felt that older brothers are supposed to be there for younger brothers,
right,
and younger sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it went, because when I was growing up and I was your age and younger, we always had older brothers that looked after us.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to know them, but they looked after us. Didn't let us get in a whole lot of unnecessary fights and things like that. That's the kind of mentality, and that's the kind of individual I'm trying to live out.
So you're trying to put that back you're trying to bring that back.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
All right. That's amazing. That, like I said, is the definition of not even a community leader. That's beyond community leader, because you're trying to do it for so many generations to go forth, which I find amazing. I want to shift over a little bit. I was talking to Jacques Howard, who's the regular host of this show. You two met at an event a couple years ago where you were honored by an organization called R.E.A.C.H, which Jacques is a part of. I wanted what was the honor that you received?
Community service.
So doing exactly what you've been doing, civic engagement.
And it was given recognition that I was doing community service,
mm-hmm,
and that was it. I mean, there's no hidden agenda. I was pretty active, and I was also I'm really pretty certain that I was also during a term of being the president of TCCA also.
That was during the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, so you, like I said, you just you keep looking down whenever I say you're getting so many accomplishments and accolades and. I want to ask you, coming from a young person that's around people that just, I feel I'm in a generation where not everything is how it used to be. If you had any advice for me as like to be able to make the city better, make the world better, and the generations to come after me, what exactly would your advice be to me?
First of all, young brother, remember, you are who you are because of your thought process and your direction.
Mm-hmm.
People look up at you. You must remember that. You are in the entertainment profession. All right, now, we don't know how far this will take you. But for now, people look up to you. Your peers look up to you. You must remember that. So when you're not in the studio, remember, you are to a certain degree a celebrity. You should always try to carry a positive image.
I try. So with that, take how people look at me and then just do good of that, essentially, and just make good of it. And is that what you're trying to say?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't do no more. See, don't try to overdo. Be you. Work on being successful, because the accolades will come.
Right. Thank you, sir. I want to talk before, because I think we're about to be up on another break. Like I said, I want to say you are just from what the hour that you and I have talked, you are an extraordinary guy that have done. Now, there's probably 1,000 things that I didn't touch on that you have done within your life, and I find that amazing. Are there any other projects that you have coming up, or that you have done that are significant that you want to discuss?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I've learned through hard knocks. You can only take so much and have so much on your plate.
Right.
There's people out there, they go to this meeting, that meeting, other meeting, this meeting, so many things. Stay focused, stay where you're good at, and work it from there.
On one thing, don't try to take it all.
No. I don't. I've tried that. I've been there, done that.
I have too. Trust me,
it doesn't work.
It just goes downhill. What other acts in this community could I take part in to be able to do this city better?
You tell me. What do you think you could do?
Well, when you and Jacques talked to me about civic engagement, until you guys talk to me and tell me the deep events that you guys do, you're the president of the council association and the civic association, and you're doing you're thinking big. When I think of that, I just think of doing small acts, and
we didn't start off thinking big. We started off thinking small, and it turned into big. Slow down, young brother. You'll get there.
I don't know. I'm just I'm excited, and I'm ready to just do something to make a change in my city.
Just keep doing what you're doing. What you're doing right now, informing the community of good things. Just keep doing what you're doing. The doors will open.
I hope.
And those that don't, you just move on to another door.
And try to take up something else. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir, for the advice, for the interview. I appreciate you for all that. This is Cameron Hunt, everybody. Don't forget this Saturday, October 20, I keep saying in my head 28th, Saturday, October 27th is the Capital City Chess Collaborative, which will be at Mercer County Community College, the James Kearney campus. Registration starts at 8:30. The event starts at 9. Thank you, sir, so much for being here. Everybody, please go make it out to this event. It's going to be amazing. That is the end of the first segment of the Trenton 365 show. We'll be right back after a quick break for the second segment.
Together, Shabbat, Shabbat. Gospel Baptist Fellowship of what we call Kara dancing bishops. Anybody want to see the bishops Kara tonight? Anybody want to see the bishops Kara tonight? Well, if you really want to see it, I want you to say it just like this. Say this. Go bishops, go bishops, go. Go bishops, go bishops, go. Say go bishops, go bishops, go. Go bishops, go bishops, go. Say go.
Hello and welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host for the second segment, Vaunt Leak. You can send us an email at trenton365show@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Trenton365. That's the numbers. Or you can visit our website, trenton365.com, and add to our community calendar. For the second segment, I am sitting here with, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, Bill Nobes and Mike Competielle, who they are a producer and engineer for the upcoming project that has been in the making for, you said, 2 years now?
2 years now.
For Analog Trenton, and I'm very excited to talk to you both about this project. So, without further ado, welcome to the show. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks
for having us.
No, I want to say I'm excited because I read into this project a lot, and I'm a musician myself, and I've played with a number of bands. I've probably played with a couple of musicians that you have featured on this project, and I want you guys to I guess you both can talk about it, but I want you to talk about how this project, how you and the other producers came together and decided to make this project exactly.
Well, I can certainly do that. Firstly, about 2 years ago, I started building an analog studio. I have a number of years in experience in live sound that I decided I wanted to go into recording, and I wanted to go all analog. Now, about a year ago, I came to Trenton. A friend of mine recommended that I stop by, and I live about 20-25 minutes away, and I was immediately welcomed with open arms. And it's one of the most artistic, one of the most creative, one of the most collaborative communities I ever came across, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Yes.
And as the studio got to the point where I could record, I'm like, well, what am I going to do first? And I do love live music, and sometimes you hear a band live and it's really wonderful, and then you get the album, it's not quite the same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same experience at all.
It's not worse, it's just different. So I thought, let's come into Trenton, which is a very DIY, do-it-yourself, and a very organic feel and a very raw feel, and let's record it. Let's record it live, let's record it analog. And one thing that's really important about this project that sometimes I don't talk about enough is it's not just about the music. It's about the artists who are donating their time and their passion. It's all original songs. It's about the people who own and manage the venues that have let me and other people do art there and donated space and time. It's about volunteers like Mike and all the other many people who have volunteered in this. So it's not just a snapshot of the music. It is a snapshot of the entire community at a point in time.
Right, and how it captures it as a whole.
Yes.
Right. Now, I find it crazy because about 2 weeks ago, not 2 weeks ago, I'm going to say like a month ago because it's been that long, I came up with this. Like I said, I'm in a band. I'm a musician. I've been doing music for a long time, and I've played with many artists throughout that have come up in Trenton. And I think I called my dad and my girlfriend. I told them, I was like, what if I reached out to some of these musicians in Trenton, and we somehow came up with like a compilation of music, to hear, and they were like, that'd be a lot of work. I don't know how you do it, but
It is.
and so to hear when I read into what Analog Trenton was and see that was because I was like this is it, it's exciting, and for me it came much quicker than I thought it would. I want to live music. I'm a big fan of. I get what you like, because I guess because I play music, hearing music live is just such a different and I guess because being a musician, you feel it. Do you play music at all?
Yes.
Yeah, so you feel it more so within you as opposed to just it sounds the same, to know someone that doesn't appreciate it as much. So I'm really excited about that. This Analog Trenton has how many artists featured on it?
We were originally going to do 20, but now it's looking like we're going to do over 30. So we're going to keep recording until the tape runs out, until the money runs out, or the end of the year. One of those three things. An analog tape is kind of expensive, which is why we have the Indiegogo.
Right.
So we are, doing an Indiegogo campaign, which you can get to from analogtrenton.com, and that will help pay for the tape and the vinyl pressing and all of that. But yeah, the idea is to be 100% inclusive, because that's the other thing that impressed me about Trenton. A venue like Champs, one night it's punk, one night it's hardcore, the next night it's hip-hop, the next night it's drag.
Yeah.
It's all in the same place. And these genres and people are intermixing, and that's different. That was wonderful. So we're recording everyone in Trenton that is willing to record, whether in one of the venues we're doing or at my studio, at 25 minutes outside Trenton.
Where exactly are you recording? Oh, you said your studio?
I live in a 200-year-old farmhouse, which the whole front, the main living room is now a studio.
Yes.
It's all studio.
That's amazing. I wish I had access to something like that, and me and my bands could. That's amazing.
The invitation's open to you as well.
I will definitely hop on that. Okay. So everybody, Cornbread Orchestra, we're gonna hop on now. I want to ask the process of putting this on, because I couldn't imagine how long first coming up with the idea, then I'm gonna have this band, and how did how does all this come together? How?
Well, I'll start with the organization part, because I knew I couldn't do it myself. I needed people like Griffin Sullivan. Griffin Sullivan is part of Pork Chop Express. They're one of the biggest booking agents in Trenton. And Nikki Nailbaum and the whole crew at Champs is very much tied into the music community. It's a very tight-knit community. So I approached Nikki first to see what she thought of the idea, and she was 100% behind it. Then I went to Griffin second. And with their help, I was able to arrange the venue. We were able to book the acts. And then I started reaching out to engineering help, because I knew I couldn't do that all myself. And it was funny how Mike and I met. Yeah. I saw his image on Facebook, people you may know, and he had a microphone. And I'm like, I should follow this guy. And I ignore it for a month. Then I follow him, and I get an instant message saying, I'm going to be your best friend. And I thought he was a stalker or something. Yeah. But it turns out...
And what's your experience been just engineering for this whole project? So I couldn't imagine I know it's not an easy road, but I could just imagine how crazy and exciting.
There's not too many people that are crazy enough to take an entire analog studio, pack it in the back of a bus,
school bus,
a school bus, drive it into a venue, set it up, and record 9 bands in 2 days.
I couldn't.
So on tape, live, but we did it. Yeah,
that's amazing.
So Bill. I saw Bill and I said, I so have to be your friend. It's you don't find too many people that are into analog, audio nerds, which is kind of what we are, engineers, and to have the concepts, we're filmmakers, we're musicians, we're, Renaissance guys, and then somebody all of a sudden says, I'm starting a analog recording record label in my studio, I'm going to record all these bands, and are you interested? I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, of course I'm interested.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 80s, to get into an analog studio, I mean, I would knock on the doors with a pizza, like, hoping they would let me in because I'd feed them, You couldn't even get into a studio. Now, the fact that everything is digital and things like that, to go back to working straight up analog. I mean, I dragged out, gear. Bill dragged, bought a ton of gear. I mean, some of these things are maybe older than you. And just to have preamps and equalizers,
all this
microphones,
to be able to
people are looking at stuff that they're like, they've never even seen, never mind actually heard. And then to be in that environment where we replayed the music live after we tracked the bands, where they were listening to themselves live and just saw how crisp and clear and amazing everything sounded, and literally no effects, we're straight off the board. There's no auto-tune, there's no, we weren't running compressors. I mean, straight analog, And
another aspect that I was surprised by is how many bands were impressed or they were affected by the analog recording process. You can't just do another take without destroying the old one.
Yeah.
It's a much different, you have to really commit. And a lot of them were like, wow, that's really interesting. And they kind of, learned other ways of doing things and other ways of thinking about music. We also have to give a call out to our other engineer, Sean Glonek, who he said it was an insane thing to do, and it took all three of us and every single shred of talent and experience all three of us had.
That's great. I don't know. I don't have an adjective for it, but it's to see people with a vision like that, because I can relate, because I'm a musician. I'm an up-and-coming filmmaker. I'm not trying to brag, but to see people that, like you two, like, just connect in the way you connected. I'm going to add him on Facebook. I don't know who he is, but to see people connect and have a vision like that, and then just to come up and find I can imagine, like, hundreds of people, like, individually, to make all these bands. It's crazy. It's amazing, and I can't wait to see this project when it comes out.
And 9 bands showed up on time.
That's that right there. That's the whole. We're just about up on a break. Before we go on a break, I want you to think about the biggest. I couldn't think of it. What the biggest challenge about all this is, and I want to know why. Like you said, like, the live experience, like, obviously, but why analog, and what has been the biggest challenge of making it so specific? Because I feel like if I came up with a project that did like that, it would be because, like, to bring like modern and, like, today, like, music, like bands of today, to something like an old-fashioned, like, not old-fashioned, but, like, to analog, like, that's like, people don't do that now. Everything's on, like, Spotify or, like, Apple Music. Why not do something simple like that? What makes it different? But where can people contact, I guess, you or any of the producers of Analog Trenton?
Well, to learn about the project, go to analogtrenton.com, and there's contact information there. That's probably the best place.
Okay.
And for me in particular, it's billnobes.com, because I've done theater and video and music for decades now, so I have a lot of stuff up there. And Mike, you're at
soundmanmike.com.
I don't know why it sounds familiar. I feel like I've looked on that website, or I've heard of you before. We met. Okay. So you said analogtrenton.com, billnobes.com, right? And then your
soundmanmike.com.
Okay. If I highly suggest that you guys go look up this project, go look up these guys, because this project is going to be, I can't even imagine how astonishing and crazy it's going to come. Do we have any idea when this project's going to be complete?
We're looking at, as far as pressing, the end of Q1 2019, because it's April or so, because we're going to hopefully conclude recording in December, and we're going to start mixing in a few weeks of what we recorded, so hopefully everything will be going to the pressing plant and to the mastering houses. I mean, we're professionally mastering, we're not cutting any corners.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, April-ish of 2019.
You got me excited. You already have a person. You already have a fan. But we're sitting down with Bill Nobes and Mike Competielle. Is that right?
That's it.
Okay. They're producer and engineer of the upcoming project Analog Trenton, which will be coming out hopefully April 2019. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more of Trenton 365 Show.
past, present, and future D-Free Power players. Anyone who desires to be financially free. The conference you can't miss comes back to where it all began for 4 days of inspiration, celebration, and next-level information. The D-Free Homecoming Conference is October 25th through the 28th in Somerset, New Jersey, and Friday night features a praise and worship concert like no other, featuring Hezekiah Walker and Kiara Sheard. Join us on the journey to financial freedom. Register today at mydfree.org. That's mydfree.org.
I'm not much of a dancer. Never have been. Not at weddings, not at concerts, not even when my favorite song is on the radio. But there's something about seeing exactly what I ordered arrive at my facility's door the day after I ordered it. That gets my foot a-tapping. That's why I love Grainger. With 99% of in-stock items shipping the same day they're ordered, they get us what we need when we need it. Which means we keep moving and I keep grooving. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And Mike Competielle, and I'm gonna let me see if you can see it right here. They are producer and engineer of the upcoming project Analog Trenton, which is a vinyl, which that's crazy to say, a vinyl record of a bunch of modern musicians that they were getting live recordings and putting them on a vinyl record. These are just a couple of the artists that will be performing at the Trenton Coffee House, which is located at 750 Cass Street on Saturday, November 3rd. So not this upcoming Saturday, the Saturday after, for Art All Day. These are a couple of the artists that are featured on the album, or on the record, that'll be performing. So if you want to go and check their individual performances, they will be there. I asked you guys before the break to talk about your biggest challenge with this project, because I can't imagine how much time and effort and money and dedication goes into putting this together.
The biggest challenge with a project like this is holding in your head that it can be done. Because if you let yourself start thinking about, can I do this, then it becomes about I.
Yeah.
And for me, it's important to let it be about the art and not saying, I am going to do this, but I'm going to help this art come about. Mm-hmm. And I find when I keep that focus, then people rally around and people help and people make things happen. As long as I let myself be driven by the art, it tends to work out. So the answer is belief in the art and a belief that it can happen without getting overwhelmed by my God.
Yeah, that's what's important, to keep the positive mindset, and so that way it comes out genuine, not just like it came out, oh, I did it just because I said I was going to do it, or I did it because I had to. It comes out genuine. It comes out like something you're passionate about.
And to be in service to the art and not in service to your own ego. That's really important, yeah.
Yeah, and for you, Mike? Matt, Mike, no, I had Mike.
So, I said to Bill, I don't know if I've heard of a crazier idea, but dragging an analog studio into, a coffee shop or into a bar and tracking live is pretty aggressive. And I wasn't nervous about any of that. We talked about it before, wasn't sure how the artists were going to be able to do it, because it was like, you're on tape, the tape's running, you're burning money because the tape's very expensive. And it was amazing, once we got everything set up and all the microphones, how well everything just kind of happened naturally, organically, and without us really trying too hard. We didn't have to direct the talent. It
became a special moment. It became one of those events that kind of took control of itself, and we were along for the ride.
And it was the well-oiled machine that eventually helped it become such a genuine project between everybody, not just the crew, but the artists themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, the engineering part was actually almost easy, I think, because once we got it working, right, then it was all just about the art.
We did get lucky because we didn't have hum problems. We didn't have, we didn't have breakers popping. We got lucky there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's good. In addition to the performances at Art All Day, we were talking on the break about another, not necessarily a challenge, but the performances and as a whole, like just I'm trying to think of the term. The performances and how they take place. And like you said, when you're doing the analog performance, like it's either, hey, we got it all in one take, or no, we scratch, just threw away like $1,000. You allow people to come and listen to these performances for the production, right?
Well, no, I think what I was saying on the break was about production as performance, where, you know, I've been exploring this for a while now. One of the first big events was at Art All Night. I did music video production marathon, where we produced music videos amongst the crowd.
Right.
Not with a wall saying, oh, we're producing, you have to be over here, but to incorporate people into it as much as possible. The same thing here, where people are free to walk in and walk out of the sessions. So they can experience what it's like making a session. You know, you go to get a DVD and you see the making of at the end. I want to bring people into the making of. So part of this in the public recording sessions is performance art at the same time, as it also is simultaneously a professional recording session.
Okay, that's amazing. Is there any way, because like I keep telling you, like this is like I feel like I want to contribute. Is there any way, me personally or Trenton 365, we could help support this effort? Because I really feel like we could incorporate, we could help, we could do something.
Well, promoting it's good. You know, pushing the Indiegogo campaign is lovely, because you can pre-order the vinyl or the CD, and we have limited edition, collector editions, and different things. But also, we really want to get the word out, because I think this is a special project, not from the technical side, but from the community and art side.
Right.
And I'd like people around the country to know about it. So we'd like to get the word out to other, you know, writers and newspapers and anything else we could.
Get out just outside of the city, not just Trenton.
Yeah, because I think I've been involved in the art scenes in Hoboken and the East Village and the Meatpacking District. And, you know, they exploded, and nothing like this was ever done. No one ever really we didn't know it was special at the time. We didn't know we were making history. We could be making history now in Trenton. I don't want to miss it this time. So that's part of the reason we're doing this too.
I feel like you personally are. The fact that you're taking musicians, and by the way, if you go on the Analog Trenton website, it's a list of, I think I counted almost 30 musicians that you said. There's a complete list of them, and if you go to this event on November 3rd, you can just hear some of these amazing musicians. I think it's amazing that you somehow found all these musicians that come out of Trenton and work together to make such, like you said, you go from rock musicians to pop musicians to like urban contemporary. Like it's amazing to see just a group of collaboratives working together to put something together like this. And I feel like not even just because like you and I personally are musicians, but if you just have an appreciation for anything, that is something that you will take out of this. That alone, the genuine appreciation that you have for music, and then the fact, like I said, the vinyl, that's all amazing, and I wish you both nothing but the best. And I trust me, you have my pre-order, analogtrenton.com, and you can go billnobes.com. What else did I want? There was one. Oh, after this project, what's next? Because you and Jacques have collaborated on What did you do? The Trenton 365 launch party, right?
And I wasn't that. I mean, Jacques and I first met on over Antigone, the play I did at the coffee house, and we've, you know, just our orbits have been passing, you know, for a year now. I can't recall any specific event. I forgot your question. I'm sorry.
No, it's just like
other things. Yes, actually, I have a bigger and crazier idea, but I don't want to talk about it yet because that's bad luck. But that's something you'll be even more interested in. And after the mics are off, we can talk about it.
I can't wait for this. Like I said, if there's any way, because I'm musically inclined, you need more bands. You need trust me, I got you. Yeah, I didn't want to get ahead of myself and ask you that, because this still in the works. Is there any way that people could connect with the bands specifically or individually, like other than coming to these events? Like, I'm trying to think of how to. Is there like any way like if let's say I wanted to listen to Alyssa Janelle. I'm sorry, Velveteen?
Velveteen, yeah. Yes. If you want to see what's going on in Trenton, I mean, Trenton 365, of course, is a good place. Pork Chop Express. You know, find them on Facebook. Trenton Zine on Instagram. the championship bar Instagram and Facebook feeds they're all there, and every night there's music in Trenton.
And most of those artists have great sites.
Yes, most of these artists, just follow them on Facebook or Instagram, and you'll soon know all about everything going on in Trenton. It's a very vibrant city.
How did you connect with, like, just going to some of these events and interacting and seeing these people? Is that how you connected with all these musicians? Like, hey,
it was yes, they accepted me warmly, and every crazy idea they came up with, they said yes, please, and we'll help. And the ideas have gotten crazier and crazier, and we just keep making art, more and more, and it's been an amazing experience.
That's amazing. We are getting ready to head out. I want to ask Mike, but both of you again, is there any advice for me personally that you could give for somebody that wants to grow up and do a project as crazy and big and spontaneous as this?
Yes. There's one thing when you look at people who do the kind of things that I want to do, one thing I noticed was they all had some sort of meditative practice, whether that's journaling, whether that's Vipassana, Zazen, pick any of the 10,000 things. That seems to be a key in order to deal with the roller coaster of ego that you have to face to do this type of stuff. And as I said, let the art drive you, not you try and drive the art. If you try and take that wheel, you're gonna get thrown around.
Yeah.
Better to make a bad project than no project at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then you can work your way up from it.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Is there? I love the whole. I love this whole I love that it's raw. It's like that. That's it. It's not edited. There's no like auto tune or anything. It's the project. It's live. I love that. I'm going to keep saying it. Analogtrenton.com, BillNobes.com,
SoundmanMike.com.
SoundmanMike.com.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you both, Bill Nobes, for coming. Thank you, Mike Competielle. Analog Trenton, I'm going to say it one more time. And the Art All Day, let me see if I got it. Art All Day, you can catch, 8 artists from this project, Saturday, November 3rd at Art All Day. They're amazing. The Trenton Coffee House, at what time is it? It's all day. I don't.
Noon. Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing 8 artists in 6 hours.
Who all from the crew of the Project Analog will be there?
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
a bunch of
Mike
us,
might be there. Another one of my volunteers will be there. And it's sort of organic, so we'll see who will be there that day. I don't know yet.
Okay. Like I said, thank you both for coming. I want to say thank you to you guys. I want to say thank you to my earlier guest, Cameron Hunt, for allowing me to be here. Please do not miss any of the events that are coming up this weekend. If you want to go to the Chess Collaborative, go to this event, purchase Analog Trenton. Thank you guys so much for listening. You have been listening and watching to the Trenton 365 show. Don't forget, you can send us an email at trenton365show@gmail.com. Visit our website, trenton365.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to follow me personally on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, Vontleak, VONTLEAK, on all social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch you all next week. Good night, everybody.